and welcome to another episode of Double Edge Reviews. Today we are reviewing The Ask and the Answer by Patrick Ness. The Ask and the Answer is the second book in the Chaos Walking trilogy, so it follows on from The Knife of Never Letting Go. If you haven't read the first one, it's not going to make any sense, so yeah, I would suggest if you're looking to get into the series, read the first one and then check out the other ones if you like it, because it's a really good series. So I would read this book if you've read the first one and you liked it, and I would also read it if you've read the first one and you didn't like it, because the first book in the series is not my favourite book of all time.
I'm really tempted to find another audiobook.
I actually disliked it a lot in parts.
I'm just finding it boring.
Now I have a greater appreciation of it, I guess you could say, since rereading it and had a bit of time to think about it, and I can see that it's like a really amazing, cohesive piece of writing, whatever you want to call it. But my first impression of the book, I did not like it at all. I was pretty cynical. So it's quite a different book. The themes from the first book continue into the second book, but the story changes direction quite dramatically, just with the different setting, different pace, writing style does change a little bit. It does move into, a different reading experience. It's in many ways darker than the first book, but it still retains that fast-paced, not really adventure, but kind of just the characters are trying to find something to hold on to and find, a way out, a way forward. So it's a journey story still in that respect. The same, the metaphor that the journey creates is still quite prevalent in this book. Audiobook review. Humphrey Bower narrates it still, which is great because I hate it when they change narrators. When it's a series. But yeah, Humphrey Bower continues to do a fantastic job. There's even better effects, if I recall, with portraying the noise. Yeah, it's really, really effective, really, really well done. So I think this audiobook might have had a bigger budget than the first one, because it seems like there's more effects and stuff. Maybe I'm thinking of Monsters of Men. I don't know. Regardless, it's very well done. And with animal conversations, I think maybe he even gets even better at that in this book. Yeah, it's really, really well done. So today for spoilers we have Sauvignon Blanc, New Zealand. It was in the fridge and I think I should use it up. It's going to be interesting because I haven't really been drinking alcohol lately. So my reading experience with The Ask and the Answer was a little similar to The Knife of Never Letting Go. I was really into it at the start, obviously, because the first book ended on such a cliffhanger. It's quite an intense book with a lot of elements, and so as the story went on I started to get confused and just didn't really want to listen to it just because there's so much going on, and when books confuse me so much sometimes I feel dumb. So by about halfway through the book I was confused, but my favourite character was Davey.
I'm nearly at the end of chapter 20. It's really confusing. I really like Davey.
He as a character just really intrigued and fascinated me. Not just whatever, Todd and Viola.
The moment Viola and Mistress Coyle are having some conversation or something. I don't know.
I like Davey, so let's just read about him. He's probably still my favourite character in the whole series. So, because his character intrigued me so much, I got more into the book, and as it went on, of course, the confusing things were explained and then more confusing things happened, but it was okay because I was good with it. But then of course my motivation for reading didn't really work out too well for me. That scene was just so intense. I think I was just standing there just going oh my god, what's happening? So yeah, he's just a boy who wants to be loved, and he has never had that from anybody, and that's just so freaking sad. Let's talk about Todd for a bit. Oh my god, the things he does. Throughout the book I was just oh my god, is this really happening? Is this Todd? I can't believe that this is Todd. I could see how it was happening, but it's just I was just listening in mild horror for most of the time. I'm not saying I don't like him now, that he's done all the things that he did in this book, but it has changed him, and that can't be ignored, and it has changed my perception of him. I'm not sure if it's in a good or bad way. I just see him as a very different person. And the thing about this book is because the lines of right and wrong and everything in between are so blurred, you really question, what is the right thing for the planet. The book does pose a lot of difficult questions, and I think that the characters of Simone and Bradley and their dialogue were really helpful in that. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe if you want, so you can see my review of Monsters and Men, which is the next review I'll be doing.